It's time for the main news. A very good evening. I am Irene Yarambi.
And I am Tariro Manamike with Noble Maungwa at the Sign Language Desk. Let's take a look at the leading stories tonight.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair opens its 66th edition, drawing more than 750 exhibitors.
In other news, Beitbridge town aims to attain city status through infrastructure development.
Harare derby on the cards this Wednesday as champion Scotland's take on resurgent Dynamos. That and more in sport.
Those are the stories we have for you tonight, but we start the main news with this story. Where outgoing Russian ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Nikolai Krasilnikov, says Harare and Moscow relations have soared, driven by collaboration in various economic sectors. The Russian top diplomat was speaking after he bade farewell to the president, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, at State House in Harare this Monday. And our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe, gives us the details.
The outgoing Russian ambassador, Mr. Nikolai Krasilnikov, bade farewell to the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, at the Munumutapa offices in Harare. He has been in this country for 6.5 years, and he is proud that the President visited his country during his term of office more than 4 times. And being decorated as an effective ambassador by the President is a feather in the cap of the ambassador.
The high point, the pinnacle was right now when His Excellency recognized my efforts as ambassador. And my personal assessment of the job I've done is that due to the support and trust that I enjoy here, I managed to strengthen the foundation for my successor to come and build up upon in order to move forward the bilateral relations in pursuit of the great rapport and accord established between President Putin and President Mnangagwa for the mutual benefit of our brotherly nations.
The Russian ambassador said Zimbabwe is very close to the Russian Federation, and he has seen a marked economic collaboration between the two countries. You talk of diamonds, you talk of air ambulances, you talk of many things which are in the offing, and is proud that all this happened during his tour of duty.
I spent all these years in Harare in the atmosphere of true friendship, which enabled me and my embassy to develop political dialogue, to enhance economic and trade cooperation, to promote scientific and technical partnership in various spheres, and to strengthen bonds of people-to-people solidarity. So what we have, Alrosa, with its diamond and gold projects, is here, remaining well on track. We have Russian helicopters roaming Harare skies with mixed Russia and Zimbabwe crews of pilots and medics. And we are very much proud that Russia is part of the wonderful project being implemented here in Zimbabwe on establishing National Air Ambulance Service.
Yes, this year, the Russia-Africa Summit is expected to take place in Moscow. And Zimbabwe being invited, the ambassador said he knows that the two countries share a lot in common as far as multilateralism in international relations is concerned.
We live in the world where we support each other. And Russia and Zimbabwe, with our friends, the like-minded countries, participate actively in establishing and strengthening the multipolar world order. This year, we'll have the 3rd Russia-Africa Summit to be held in Moscow in October. So we expect that President Putin, President Mnangagwa, together with their friends, African leaders, discuss in a very deep and sincere atmosphere how we move forward.
So as he leaves this country this month, he goes a proud and happy man that his government and the government of Zimbabwe found it fit for him to remain working in this country for 6.5 years. Ruben Bargwa, ZPC News, at the Munumutapa buildings in Harare.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair opened its doors this Monday with a renowned focus on industrial growth, export competitiveness and policy alignment. Our reporter Yolanda Moyo filed this report.
The 66th edition of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair has drawn more than 750 exhibitors, underscoring the private sector's sustained confidence and expanding international participation, while reinforcing the platform's role as a conduit between enterprise and policy at a time when Zimbabwe is pushing for value addition and industrial scale-up. For first-time local exhibitors, the platform was seen as a strategic entry to formal markets and supply chains, signaling optimism among emerging enterprises.
We have been here for more than 40 years, but this is our first time as ZITF exhibiting. We want to tap into the growing economy, Zimbabwe's growing economy, and we also want to meet with other policymakers and other businesses and broadcast and sell our products.
Connected economies is simply indicating gravitating towards working together, having an interoperability amongst the economies. One economy, one activity rides upon the other. So that's why we are here.
We are a leaseholder here at the trade fair, a permanent leaseholder, so we're excited because each and every year we are connecting with industry, and now we're actually driving growth because of the different facets of business that we are enabling through the transportation.
The national exhibitor says Zimbabwe remains a market of interest in mining, agriculture and energy sectors, citing ongoing reforms and infrastructure development as signals of improving ease of doing business.
It will be very good. Obviously it's my first time here, but the previous shows have been very successful. It's very good for South Africa and Africa to sort of be interlinked and work together.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Nicholas Ndebele, emphasized that the fair's longevity is rooted in its ability to facilitate direct engagement between the private sector and policymakers.
We always provide various networking platforms that allow the private sector to intersect with the government, not only with government, but also maybe with academia as well, so that they also get to appreciate what academia is doing.
The 2026 edition of Zimbabwe's Premier Trade Showcase comes at a time when the nation is intensifying efforts to drive industrialization, export growth and private sector-led development under the National Development Strategy 2 and DS2, was ZITF expected to play a catalyst role in connecting enterprises to both capital and markets. Yolanda Moyo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The rural industrialization indaba, which has become a key feature at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, this Monday spotlighted the importance of investing in rural economies for the transformation of livelihoods.
Last year, the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair Company took a deliberate step to introduce this unique rural industrialization indaba as a way of incorporating rural economies into the country's development matrix. Now running for the second time, the rural industrialization indaba brought together local and international exhibitors who believe that Africa's transformation can only be realized through investing in what happens in the villages.
Africa's development, and I quote from the former president of Tanzania, Julius Nyerere, who said, Africa's development will be shaped by what happens in the villages. So this moment gives us an opportunity as Zimbabweans, most of us city dwellers, to think inclusively about what's happening in the villages.
We are playing a very important part in rural industrialization, in aiding with the rural industrialization and economic empowerment through the employment of rural people.
We need to identify our resource, parcel it out to investors. They will come and increase productivity, agro-productivity in those areas. Once we've got our capacities up, then we can now talk of value addition in those areas. We can now create industries in those areas.
Before getting into the business of the day, a progress report on last year's resolutions was presented.
During the conference, when we met last year, we recognized a key driver of inclusive growth in rural industrialization. It was something that was really emphasized, that if you want to be able to develop inclusively, you need to look at rural industrialization to help you push this particular agenda.
With government having already set up village business units, industry players who took part at the Indaba emphasized the need to unlock the potential of rural economies through value chains.
There's quite a lot of work being done in the rural areas, and we've actually started investing in some projects in the rural areas.
We have over 70% of our population staying in the rural areas. And if we want to go to Vision 2030, to upper middle income status of about 4,500 rands per capita per person, it means that we need to uplift the people in the rural areas.
Government is scaling up rural industrialization through the agriculture food system strategy while prioritizing the anchor role of young people and women in agricultural development.
This indaba marks a turning point. Our mission is to ensure that every district not only produces, but processes, packages and profits.
As we reflect on rural industrialization in Zimbabwe, it is important to note that micro, small and medium enterprises are the entry point to rural industrialization.
The Indaba ran under the theme From Policy to Production, leveraging economic empowerment for accelerated rural industrialization. Lisa Correa, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, the Zanu PF Youth League says it is not proper for businessman Wicknell Chivayo to donate money to Parliament of Zimbabwe, as it will impact on the integrity of the legislature. The remarks follow social media reports claiming Chivayo intends to donate $3.6 million United States dollars to Parliament. In a statement, Zanu PF Deputy Secretary for Youth Affairs, Comrade John Paradza, advised Chivayo to instead undertake developmental initiatives within communities rather than through state institutions. Comrade Paradza urged legislators to take a stand against any attempt to bring the Parliament of Zimbabwe into disrepute. He said Parliament stands as one of the most critical arms of the state and operates within a well-established constitutional framework, hence cannot survive on handouts. Comrade Paradza highlighted that the Youth League position is guided by its unwavering support for the leadership and vision of the President, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, and its confidence in systems and leadership already in place.
Meanwhile, senior officials from Zimbabwe and Botswana are meeting in Harare to set the agenda for the 5th session of the Bi-National Commission, laying the groundwork for enhanced cooperation and concrete deliverables between the two countries.
This Wednesday, the President, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, will host his Botswana counterpart, His Excellency Advocate Duma Boko, for the 5th Zimbabwe-Botswana Bi-National Commission. Now, ahead of this critical indaba, a series of meetings have been held in preparation, including the senior officials meeting currently underway in the capital, which is deliberating on previously agreed areas of cooperation and identify areas of priority implementation for the benefit of these two countries. While officially opening the meeting, Zimbabwe's Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Albert Chimbindi, said the Bi-National Commission presents a platform that is crucial in the economic, political, as well as social development of these two countries, identifying sectors such as health, agriculture, mining, as well as border management as critical in pushing for the development of Zimbabwe and Botswana. Now, the agreed minutes from the senior officials will be tabled before the ministerial meeting this Tuesday, where again the ministers of foreign affairs and trade from Zimbabwe and Botswana will meet and deliberate on the agreed areas of cooperation as they pave way for the leaders' meeting Wednesday. The convening of the 5th Zimbabwe-Botswana Binational Commission, as well as the attendance to this year's ZITF by His Excellency Duma Boko, reaffirms both countries, Zimbabwe and Botswana's commitment to sustainable development and the upliftment of people's livelihoods. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
The dualization Harare-Kanyemba Road is progressing steadily from the Blue Ridge section that was commissioned recently. The road, which links Mbire district to the rest of Zimbabwe, is expected to significantly reduce travel time and open the area for investment. More in the following report.
The constant hum of heavy earth-moving equipment has become the soundtrack of daily life here in Mazoe as workmen press ahead with construction and dualization of the Harare-Angwa-Kanyemba Highway, one of several major infrastructure projects transforming Zimbabwe's road network. The strategic route links Harare to Kanyemba area in Mbire district, which lies at the tri-border of Zimbabwe, Zambia and Mozambique. Mazoe residents noted improved safety and the anticipated reduction in road traffic accidents following the dualization of previously narrow and hazardous sections.
Road rugadzira zvakanaka ende tiri kufara ende isusu vagari muno munzvimbo yemazoe tiri kubenefita kunyange seni zvangu ndiri kuitawo kabhizinesi kangu kemurodhi basa rangu riri kufamba zvakanaka nekuti nzira yakura ende iri kufambika zvakanaka.
Rodhi inondoita mhandi kumberi tasvika pamazoe ini hapazi painoperera inotisvitsa kuna Zambezi tokwanisa kuenda kuchinoudhawo Matemba patikoda rodhi yakadi futi yakanaka.
Rodhi ndaiona zvairi zvacho zvinofadza. Tinotongotarisira kuti iko dai zvikakwanisa kuramba zvichienderera mberi ichigadzirwa semagadzirirwo airi kuitwa kudai.
Magadzirirwo akaitwa rodhi zvinotofadza, mota dzakufamba zvakanaka. Maaccident anenge aita kakutapudzika nenyaya yerodhi kukura kwayaita.
Zanu PF Mashonaland Central Deputy Provincial Secretary for Transport and Infrastructure Development, Comrade Brian Jonga, is excited about the prospects that lie ahead, with Mazoe already enjoying positive social and economic transformation, sentiments echoed by Mazoe Ward 20 Councillor Tapera Tapererwa.
Tinoda kutenda zvikuru nehurumende yaBaba Mnangagwa nedevelopment yavari kuita muprovince medu. Tichiwitnessa last commission yakaitwa naminister wedu transport vamhona kubva paBlue Ridge vachiuya kuno kuMazoe. Tiri kuona a big development iri kuitika, vanhu vari kushanda. So chishuwiro chedu seprovince kuti dai rodhi yakasvika pamazoe isati yaenda kwairi kufanira Kanyemba, dai yagona kusvikawo kucapital city yedu yeprovince kubhindura.
Sevagari muward 20 mutungamiriri weward 20 kansera takabatsikana zvikuru kumayuthi yedu vakapinda basa exodus. Saka zviri izvo zvakatidzora kuti vana vasawa nekutora zvinodhakwa.
Construction is advancing from the Blue Ridge area towards Mazoe Dam, where bush clearing and groundworks are underway as the project steadily takes shape. As the highway stretches further north, it is paving the way for inclusive development, connecting communities, enhancing safety, and unlocking the vast economic potential of Zimbabwe's northern frontier. Tapiwa Machemeze, ZBC News, Mazoe.
Now, construction activities at Lupane State University have become a catalyst for development, creating employment and business opportunities for communities in Matabeleland North Province.
Once a quiet area with limited employment prospects, Lupane is now a hive of activity thanks to construction works at Lupane State University. Dozens of men and women are now employed at the construction site where a technovation center is being set up. From bricklaying and carpentry to security and catering, vast opportunities have been created with some of the beneficiaries being employed in formal jobs for the first time.
Mina njengomntwana oyinkazana ukuvuleka kweproject le kungisizile kakhulu ukuthi ngikwazi ukuzinakekela ngingakhangeleli kwabanye abantu, njalo ingincedile ukuthi ngibekwazi ukusiza ifamily yami lapha engisuka khona. Ukalutshwana ukuthi uthole umuntu oyinkazana etholakala eyenza ama project afanana lawona lawa.
Kunjabulisa kakhulu ngoba mfunde okuningi lokho engifunda njengoba ngilokhu ngisupervisor wamacarpenter kunjalo nje. Lokho ngena okuningi lami engazi ngihlangane lakho lengahlangana lakho ngokunjalo kunjabulisa kakhulu ngoba kumbonisa ifuture yakusasa lemuli yami ukuthi ihlale kahle ngokusasa ngokuqeda kwami umsebenzi.
imali engithola khona bayanceda kakhulu kufamily yami. Ngivela ku-extended family, so uma ngithola imali lapha ngiyancedisa lapha lalaphana. At the same time ngiyakwanisa futhi ukuthi lami ngibe ngizihambise esikolweni ngiyafunda ngiqhubeka ngisiya phambili.
Lupane State University is alive to the impact of the construction project in the community.
I-building iroko gwasharoko iri mukati mat north, so izochita kuti vantu vamat north kuzoita kupinga kuforose kuwanki kunkai madistrict wonseni indau ivafwifwi indau yakufundira indau yakuti mabusiness agwasikane.
The construction phase is laying a strong foundation not just for a building but for a more skilled, self-reliant and economically active community. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Lupane.
Government-led smart agriculture initiatives have bolstered food security in Berengwa and Bulilima districts after an impressive yield in traditional grains and maize.
The ground is still wet. The aftermath of some good rains are received here in Berengwa over the past weeks. The muddy ground makes it a difficult terrain to navigate with a vehicle. The only mode of transport becomes a donkey-drawn cart. The lush green environment in this community is testament to a good season, not only for the livestock, but to thousands of families who depend on the rains for their farming. Berengwa district falls in ecological region 4 and 5, characterized by low and erratic rainfall. Yet within the same region, stories of abundance define every household. Mrs. P.Y. Zhou is one among many smallholder farmers whose story reflects a massive transformation, climate-proofing systems that have assisted her to achieve a good yield.
Taimboita dhigaudle nezvipadza mwedzi 4 ndichingoita dhigaudle gandowa rimwe. Iye zvino ndava kushandisa mushini dhigaudle ndinongoita zuva rimwe ndendadopedza zvikoma zvangu 7.
She is among many farmers who have benefited under the Adaptation Fund, a government-led program targeting to build resilience for small-scale farmers while also preparing them for commercialization. The successes in Berengwa are also reflected in Bulilima of Matabeleland South Province, another district serviced under the fund. For Mrs. Busisi Ompofu, a good yield also means better income.
Pakatesi omama sebefundile bayamukela ngenhlelo ezingenayo bafundiswa kwakuqala uhlelo kagatsha ukulima ulondoloza amanzi izinhlanyelo ulondoloza umhlabathi bakuyamukela omama balima ngakho abanye basifundiswa imechanized kumkhana ukulima sidweba.
Theirs are stories of hope.
Well, with this one it's different because they've brought in a concept mechanization, which has brought excitement to the community.
The Adaptation Fund has empowered over 2,000 small-scale farmers across 3 provinces.
We are moving with the mantra of leaving no one and no place behind. Our farmers are really embracing the technology.
Smart agriculture is a priority for government as it moves to bolster national food security. Farmers like Mrs. Zhou are living reality of this vision. Theophilus Chumas, ZBC News.
Now, the government has acknowledged concerns raised by nurses following reports of industrial action at some health institutions across the country. Addressing the media in Harare this Monday evening, the Minister of Health and Childcare, Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, confirmed that they have noted the grievances submitted through the Zimbabwe Nurses Association, adding that the government is committed to finding a lasting solution.
Government recognizes the importance of these concerns and reaffirms its commitment to continued engagement through the appropriate channels. In this regard, an extraordinary technical meeting has been convened between the Health Apex Panel and the Health Services Commission. Nonetheless, processes are underway to review the concerns in a structured and responsible manner, guided by the need to balance the delivery of critical health services with the welfare of health workers. The government of Zimbabwe, led by His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, remains committed to addressing issues that affect the well-being of its citizens. The ministry therefore appeals to these health workers who have withdrawn their services to suspend the industrial action and allow space for constructive dialogue and orderly engagement in the best interests of the patients and the nation at large.
A life-saving pediatric cardiac surgery camp is underway at Padirinyatwa Group of Hospitals, bringing hope and a second chance at life to children battling complex heart conditions. Our health editor, Abigail Tembo, gives us that report.
Running from today until Friday, the initiative has drawn a team of Egyptian cardiac specialists who are working side by side with local doctors to perform delicate open heart procedures on young patients. Leading cardiothoracic surgeon Dr. Simukai Machawira says the camp is both a response to urgent need and a long-term investment in Zimbabwe's healthcare system.
We are aiming at operating on at least 10 patients. Hopefully we'll make it 11 if it's possible. And we are hoping to save a lot of children who keep having recurrent infections and admissions in hospital. And this should go a long way in assisting the families so that they don't have to come to hospital repeatedly.
Pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon Professor Hisham Shoki, who is leading the Egyptian team, said he is quite impressed with what the Zimbabwean team has achieved ever since they started the open heart surgery camps 3 years ago.
The team is getting better with data, and the most important thing, they had a new heart-lung machine which is donated from the government, which is very well, which will push the program even more. This time we got some instruments that for the local team to work on it. So I think they are ready to go. They have a good number of patients around, and they have the expertise and the manpower and knowledge to start doing the program by themselves. Because as Dr. Mashawira just mentioned, the number of patients needing surgery is huge. It's always, we say that every 1,000 newborn, there is 8 of them having heart disease. So if you calculate the number of births in Zimbabwe per year, you just 0.8 of them will have heart disease.
As this camp progresses through the week, the focus remains not only on successful surgeries, but on building a sustainable future for pediatric cardiothoracic care, one operation, one child, and one life at a time. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, it was a fruitful first day at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair in Bulawayo this Monday. And attention now shifts to day 2, which has a packed program for this Tuesday. And for more information, we'll link up with our reporter, Yolanda Moyo, to give us more details. Good evening to you, Yolanda.
Good evening, Zimbabwe. We are coming to you live from the Zimbabwe International Conference and Exhibition Smart City. Day 1 of this Premier Trade Showcase closed on a strong exhibitor participation with renewed focus on leveraging on regional and international trade markets. Day 2 shift now focuses on the first ever Youth in Business Conference at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, but discussions are expected to center on how these young enterprises can remain competitive, innovative, and tap into financial mechanisms that have been put up by government, such as the National Venture Capital Fund. Day 3, that is Wednesday, will level things up. The Zimbabwe International Business Conference, which is expected to draw more than 800 delegates, with the Vice President of Zimbabwe, General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, expected to headline this conference. From the statistics we have, it is said that 52% of people that are exhibiting here are coming from the private sector, and His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa is on the record saying that Zimbabwe's economic growth should be led by the private sector. Day 4, we have the official opening of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, which is going to be officially opened by His Excellency Gideon Dumawoko from Botswana. And here we're talking of issues of regional integration, and this is going to be the center stage on Thursday. Friday, we have the Africa Free Continental Trade Area being discussed at the Africa Symposium as Zimbabwe pushes to drive inter-African trade. This is all we have for you now, and it is back to the studio.
Thank you, Yolanda, for that update from the ZITF grounds. Now, the Muslim community in Zimbabwe has declared its support for the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill, highlighting that proposed amendments align with the country's developmental agenda.
Zimbabwe has diverse religions that peacefully coexist with each other. Adding their voice in support of the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill, the Muslim community has commended the Second Republic's people-centered policies that allow citizens to practice their faith peacefully.
Tinotsigira bill number 3. Zvikonzero zvacho 1. Mukatarisa nyika yedu ino madevelopment akuitwa akanyanyisa. Maroads akugadzirwa, zvinhu zvakawanda, mainterchange akugadzirwa zvese izvozvo. Saka ngativapei nguva kuti vapedzise maprojects uyezve maplan. Chechipiri kune vision 2030 yapresident. Iyo inoda kuimplement.
Hurumende iripo inoshanda nesu zvakanaka. Takavainvita kumaprogram yedu vanouya, vanotipa mukana kuti tive nekunamata zvatinoda. Izvo zvinoratidza kuti i-government yakasununguka, i-government inozadzikisa zvishuwo each and every citizen.
Pasapoti yedu zvakare kumutemo mutsva uyu webill number 3. Tiri kusapota kuti mutemo iwowo ngaupase semamuslims nekuti takaona kuti kumashure ukoko kurovana kunoitika nezvesarudzo izvi. Mutemo uyu tiri kuona sekuti uri kugadzirisa izvozvo. Kunyanya panhauro yekuti president kana vakusarudzwa muparliament. Izvozvo zvinosevha nyika mari yakawanda uye zvinoita kuti ma-contestations anoitika around my-elections ave a thing of the past.
Following nationwide public hearings that were conducted earlier this month, the bill now moves to the parliamentary debate stage where it requires 2/3 majority to pass. Festus Mkunguru says ZBC News, Harare.
Now, for these and more stories, you can log on to our website. That's www.zbc.co.zw. You can also visit our social media platforms. That's on X, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. And our handle is @ZBC News Online.
And now here are the stories still to expect in the bulletin. Beitbridge town aims to attain a city status through infrastructure development. Harare derby on the cards this Wednesday as champions Scotland take on resurgent Dynamos. Main News takes a break. Do join us for some more news.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is pleased to advise the public that the upgraded Big 5 ZiG banknotes are now in circulation, effective 7 April 2026. The new Big 5 ZiG banknote series has been distributed across the country in sufficient quantities to meet anticipated cash demand. The rollout begins with 10 ZiG, 20 ZiG, and the new 50 ZiG note. The 100 ZiG and 200 ZiG will be introduced gradually. 1 ZiG, 2 ZiG and 5 ZiG coins remain in circulation, and the previous ZiG banknotes will continue to circulate alongside the upgraded Big 5 ZiG notes. They will gradually be phased out. The upgraded ZiG banknotes are available through banks, ATMs, and HomeLink kiosks nationwide. Let's embrace and use the upgraded Big 5 ZiG banknotes with pride and confidence. ZiG. Stable, secure, sustainable.
The Minister of Health and Childcare, Honorable Dr. D.T. Mombeshora, the Deputy Minister, Honorable S.T. Kwidini, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. A.J.V. Maunganidze, and the entire ministry staff join His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and all Zimbabweans in celebrating the 46th Independence Anniversary. As we mark independence under the theme Zim at 46, unity, and development towards Vision 2030. We reaffirm our commitment to a healthier Zimbabwe by strengthening health systems, modernizing infrastructure, and empowering a skilled and dedicated health workforce. These measures are driving transformative progress towards universal health coverage, making quality and affordable healthcare a reality for all Zimbabweans. As we celebrate our independence, let us remember that health is a shared responsibility. Ministry of Health and Childcare, equity and quality in health, leaving no one and no place behind.
This is Isaac, a farmer who is mastering his hustle for global success. Behind Isaac's hustle is the company Cicada that got financing from the European Investment Bank and access to markets through the European Union Zimbabwe Trade Agreement. He passes what he has learnt on to others. His journey shows how far dedication can go. Bigger harvests, more income, and new markets for him. One seed, one dream, a world of possibilities.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair 2026 is here. It's Zimbabwe's premium platform for trade, innovation, and building global connections. For more than half a century, the ZITF show has been at the heart of innovation and integration of ideas behind Zimbabwe's industrialization and economic growth. At ZITF 2026, we take this a step further, positioning local, regional, and international businesses for global integration, driving Zimbabwe and Africa's transformation. Be a part of the journey to unlocking local, continental, and global opportunities at ZITF 2026 from the 20th to the 25th of April 2026 in Bulawayo. Register today and unleash your business growth. ZITF 2026, connected economies, competitive industries.
Forever Associates Zimbabwe, FAZ, an affiliate of Zanu PF, invites you to this year's ZITF exhibition in Bulawayo from 20 to 25 April 2026 at stand number IE1301. Come and experience how FAZ has empowered communities, mobilized youth, and championed Vision 2030. From grassroots engagement to national development initiatives, FAZ continues to support the revolutionary Zanu PF party. Don't miss the chance to know us and experience our story of public engagement, empowerment, and mass mobilization.
This is Isaac, a farmer who is mastering his hustle for global success. Behind Isaac's hustle is the company Cicada that got financing from the European Investment Bank and access to markets through the European Union Zimbabwe Trade Agreement. He passes what he has learnt on to others. His journey shows how far dedication can go. Bigger harvests, more income, and new markets for him. One seed, one dream, a world of possibilities.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching the main news. Now, the massive infrastructure developments are being implemented by the Second Republic have enhanced a Beitbridge town's drive to attain a city status. Let's get that report.
From improved roads, a modernized port of entry and housing projects, the town of Beitbridge is witnessing massive transformation.
Because of regular and constant servicing of our roads infrastructure in this government programs, we have witnessed an improved movement by our local farmers to the urban market. So generally, I would say the economic enablers have been put in place through infrastructural projects that we are seeing.
If you come across the modernized border posts, whoever now wants to invest in real estate, they are inspired to match even the architectural standards that have been put there. NDS2 is largely factoring on infrastructural development. We have a feeling that the ability by a Triple P plan to show how much infrastructural development can be done has also given government an impetus to even push for more infrastructural development.
The local authorities already eyeing city status riding on the accelerated infrastructure development.
I think for us it means that government has faith in that town. It means that government want to see the border town develop, and so that the infrastructure will match our vision 2030, the vision which says we must be an upper middle income economy by 2030. So the development infrastructure also works in tandem with our vision also to become a city by 2030.
Beyond the infrastructure development, the Second Republic has created an enabling environment for business to thrive, driving increased investments by both the private and public sectors. Aifeli Mudau, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
As we continue our spotlight on the independence of Zimbabwe, tonight we focus on the Nyoni family from Hwange district in Matabeleland North Province. At the height of Zimbabwe's liberation struggle in 1978, the war was no longer confined to the battlefield. It had reached ordinary people, families, as well as children. For this family, what began as a journey to safety in 1978 turned into a lifelong tragedy.
At the peak of Zimbabwe's liberation struggle in 1978, the late Mr. Goodson Nyoni left this homestead on the 4th of February 1978. The late Mr. Nyoni had traveled all the way from Chinhoyi, where he worked, to collect his family to safety in Chinhoyi.
The scars of Zimbabwe's liberation struggle run deep, not only in history books, but also in the lives of ordinary citizens who survived its horrors. For Miss Christine Nyoni, the memories of February 1978 remain vivid and painful. On the 4th of February 1978, the Nyoni family left Ndoweni Village 2 in Hwange district under Chief Shana, hoping to escape escalating violence. Their journey took them to Jambezi Center, where they boarded a bus to Bulawayo. However, their departure was delayed.
Mamota avharwa murodhi akurambidzwa kufamba. Takabva iri mhuri yese kwaNyoni tikafamba kusvika kuJambezi. Bhazi rataida kubata rakarambidzwa kusumuka nguva yese iyoyo yatakasvika kuJambezi kumasikati. Tikarara paJambezi zvikanzizvo hapana kwamuri kuenda, munorara pano. Tikapiwa chikafu, vana vakabikirwa chikafu nevabereki, tikaguta tikarara mubhazi.
Just a few kilometers after departure, tragedy struck. A powerful explosion tore through the bus after it hit a landmine, killing several passengers and leaving many others seriously injured.
Mamba kwedza bhazi ratikatenderwa kusimuka kuma 5 AM. Hapana kwarakaenda, rakabva ratsika chimbambai. Tikakuvara zvakavamba, vakawanda vakafa. Inini negumbo rimwe ndakakora rekuleft. Mukomana hanzvadzi yangu staff Nyoni makumbo maviri na mama vangu makumbo maviri.
The injured were ferried to Hwange Colliery Hospital.
Some by ambulance and others by a helicopter, where the family's fight for survival continued.
Muchipatara takagara gore rese, takatodya Christmas muchipatara. Ndichiri kuyeuka masista nemafadha veRoma vachiuya vachitotora kuenda kuchechi. Mama vakagara zvekuti muchipatara muye madhoktors vachiedza kuvabatsira, asi zvairamba. Makumbo acho akazosvika pakuora ndobva azodimburwa ese.
Another victim, Miss Isnat Mzamba, aged 81, speaks briefly but powerfully about her ordeal. After being discharged in early 1979, the Nyoni family members were taken to a rehabilitation center in Bulawayo, where they spent 6 months before eventually proceeding to Chinhoyi. At the center, they were taught how to live with disabilities and given basic education, while their mother received training in practical skills such as crocheting and knitting. Today, more than 4 decades later, the survivors continued to live with physical and emotional impact of that tragedy.
Despite living with a disability, Mrs. Nyoni is grateful to the support that has been rendered to her to date by the Second Republic.
As Zimbabwe reflects on its liberation history, stories like this serve as a reminder that the cost of freedom was borne not only by those on the battlefield, but also by innocent civilians whose lives were forever changed.
Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Wange.
The proposed amendments to ban medical aid societies from owning health facilities to resolve conflict of interest in the sector has triggered debate regarding affordability of healthcare services and future of investments.
The government has made huge strides over the years to expand universal access to healthcare. However, the future of the country's health delivery system is set for transformation if the proposed amendments to Statutory Instrument 330 of 2000, which prohibits medical aid societies to own healthcare facilities such as clinics and hospitals, sail through. This has triggered a huge debate, with the Association of Healthcare Funders of Zimbabwe saying that this move is set to reduce the affordability of healthcare services, pleading with the government to have a relook at these proposed amendments.
Our members will actually have to seek somewhere to get services. We also have got members who are on low premiums, as little as $5. We have been accessing services through those facilities. What it will also mean is that there will be an influx in terms of the public healthcare system will actually be overwhelmed.
The proposed amendments require these medical aid societies to dispose of their assets within a period of 2 years, something which has created a concern around the future of jobs, as well as the huge amounts of investments made in the sector.
These investments, they've been massive, they've been done over the years. So it will mean that we need to sell them very fast. And once you want to dispose something very fast, it becomes a fire sale. They are sold at a very low price. And also there's issue of job losses. It means all those people who are employed in those facilities will be made redundant.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Health and Childcare, Honorable Decent Bajila, noted the need to strike a balance to safeguard jobs and enhance affordability of medical services.
The Portfolio Committee on Health and Childcare will be interested in receiving representations from all affected parties on this matter. Our interest is in ensuring that in the implementation of the said amendments to the statutory instrument, no jobs are lost, no subscriber is negatively affected, because medical aid society subscribers put their money in this matter, and therefore they must not be affected when changes come into place.
The proposed amendments are aimed at resolving the issue of conflict of interest, whereby medical aid societies are also owners of clinics and hospitals, which is stifling competition in the sector. However, stakeholders are of the view that government should consider the issue of affordability, which is also enshrined in the National Development Strategy 2, in order to expand universal access to healthcare. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
And now we shift our attention to the courts, where a clearing agent based at Chirundu border post is facing charges of facilitating the theft of lead blocks that are valued at 100,000 United States dollars. More from the courts from our reporters.
Tulani Mamunga, 18 and 25-year-old Kudakwashe Mususa were convicted of 10 counts of assaulting law enforcement officers. The duo has been caged for 20 months, but 6 months was suspended on condition of good behavior. Hence, they will serve an effective 14-month prison term. It was the status case that on the 9th of October last year in Stone Ridge Park, one of the complainants, Farai Marwa, a 21-year-old employee from the Judicial Service Commission, and his colleagues from the Harare High Court were on duty conducting evictions in the area. The state proved that Mamunga and Mususa, acting in the company of other accomplices who are still at large, arrived at the scene and confronted the complainants. The group resisted eviction process and assaulted the complainants using wooden sticks and tree branches. The court heard that after being forcibly ordered to vacate the premises, the complainants reported the incident to the police, leading to the arrest of the duo. Kudakwashe Daisy, aged 43, a clearing agent operating under Bay Shipping at Chirundu, was arrested on the 17th of this month after investigations by the Criminal Investigation Department, Minerals, Flora and Fauna Unit. Prosecutors allege that Daisy facilitated the clearance of 19 lead blocks after registering false export documents into the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority system, purporting that the goods were in transit from Zambia to South Africa. The goods were, however, in Goromonze after being transported from Norton, where the owner had instructed conveyance to Mozambique. Armed with a ZIMRA commercial invoice and release order, Daisy's alleged accomplice Isaac Freddy allegedly instructed his driver, Fanuel Guamure, to transport the goods to South Africa through Plumtree border post. The complainant suffered a prejudice of 100,000 United States dollars.
Main News takes a break. We will be back with some more updates.
Texting while driving. What a dangerous thing to do on the wheel. Be smart. Put the phone down. Don't text and drive. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. Safety first. There is no second chance.
This is Isaac, a farmer who is mastering his hustle for global success. Behind Isaac's hustle is the company Cicada that got financing from the European Investment Bank and access to markets through the European Union Zimbabwe Trade Agreement. He passes what he has learnt on to others. His journey shows how far dedication can go. Bigger harvests, more income, and new markets for him. One seed, one dream, a world of possibilities.
Welcome to a decade of innovation, a legacy of trust, as Oxford Properties celebrates 10 years of excellence, from the success of Aspendale Park to our newest vision. We invite you to discover Borrowdale Park. Experience premium stands ranging from 400 to 800 square meters, with flexible payment plans designed for your future. Perfectly situated less than 5 kilometers from Sam Levy's village, this is where convenience meets sophistication. This is a complete lifestyle sanctuary, a secure, gated community featuring on-site schools, a medical clinic, and a modern shopping mall. From our dynamic business park to paved wellness trails and dedicated sports facilities, every detail, including a dedicated fire station, is built into the heart of the community. With title deeds guaranteed and professionally designed house plans ready for you, your peace of mind is our priority. Borrowdale Park. Designed for living.
Muka Zimbabwe tiende Cheri wese ande fidelity
Ndiyo identity chaiyo yekuti uri mucheri wegoride vefidelity chaivo ndivo vauya nekadire goridhe saka ngachive chipatapata kumucheri wese chive chipatapata kumucheri wese rinobatsira kuti uve mucheri anozikanwa rinobatsira pakutora loni yemari yakawanda rinobatsira kuchengetedza paunoshandira rinobatsira pane zvakawanda
kungouya nechitupa chako chekuberekwa kungouya nechitupa chako chekuchera
saka kuma-artisanal and small scale miners chitomhanya nhasi unotora ASM gold card rako pa-nearest gold buying center yefidelity.
School's out, fun's in, adventures on, homework done, and holiday mode is activated.
Let's hop to it.
And he scores!
This is your time. Holiday mode activated. Get and stay connected to DSTV and choose from a world of amazing kids entertainment.
The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe would like to warn all motorists and passengers against overloading, as this can lead to loss of life and premature death. Overloading can cause instability to the vehicle, thereby making it harder to steer, whether on straight roads, bends, or when it hits a pothole. Say no to overloading. You never know, the life you save might be your own. This message was brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. TSCZ, keeping Zimbabwe's roads safe. This is Isaac, a farmer who is mastering his hustle for global success. Behind Isaac's hustle is the company Cicada that got financing from the European Investment Bank and access to markets through the European Union Zimbabwe Trade Agreement. He passes what he has learnt on to others. His journey shows how far dedication can go. Bigger harvests, more income, and new markets for him. One seed, one dream, a world of possibilities.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We continue with the main news bulletin. Iran says it has no plans regarding a new round of talks after the United States seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghei confirmed the position, describing the seizure of the ship as an attack on Iran. This comes hours after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that he is sending his team to Islamabad for possible talks with Iran. Reports say China has expressed concern over the forced interception of an Iranian-flagged cargo ship by the U.S., urging all parties to abide by the ceasefire agreement in a responsible manner. Oil prices have risen sharply after attacks on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and conflicting messages about the prospect of renewed negotiations between the United States and Iran. And that story takes us off to a break, but when we come back, Anna Shimrombezi will be giving us the latest in sport. Stay tuned.
This April, the heartbeat of global tourism echoes from Africa. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe proudly welcomes the world to the 23rd UN Tourism Committee on Tourism and Sustainability and the 2nd UN Tourism Regional Congress on Women's Empowerment in Tourism in Africa, hosted in the iconic tourism city of Victoria Falls from the 27th of April to the 1st of May 2026. Leaders, innovators and stakeholders converge for high-level engagement, shaping the future of tourism by advancing sustainability, women's empowerment, leadership and economic inclusion across the continent and beyond, held under the esteemed patronage of Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, whose impactful grassroots programs continue to transform communities and position women as key drivers of tourism development. Zimbabwe stands as a leading model of progressive and inclusive global tourism governance. Experience Zimbabwe, from the majestic Victoria Falls to the ancient wonders of Great Zimbabwe, from breathtaking wildlife encounters to vibrant cultural experiences, where warm hospitality embraces you, where our cuisine tells rich stories of tradition and culture, and where our authentic heritage comes alive in every moment. Come be part of the conversation. Come shape the future. Come and experience Zimbabwe, your gateway to sustainable tourism and empowered futures. Experience Zimbabwe. Nakayedu, Ilefa letu, our heritage. This is us. Zimbo. No choice but to call it beautiful.
The 2026 edition of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, ZITF, is here. The City of Kings, Bulawayo, will come alive from the 20th to the 25th of April as the annual International Expo takes center stage under the theme, Connected Economies, Competitive Industries. Don't miss this exceptional opportunity to showcase your brand to Zimbabwe and the rest of the world through ZBC TV, digital, and radio platforms. For exciting advertising packages, contact Robson on 0716 484 712, Clarice on 0712 842 138, or email marketing@zbc.co.zw.
Nosiho misplaced her driver's license again, so she can sit pretty as #passenger princess.
In my pinky, right, baby?
If smart choices mean a great deal to you, box clever with a Rapster in original, dunked, or the new barbecue. Genius.
The Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority Board, Management and Staff, Mosiwo Tunya Development Company Private Limited Board, Management and Staff proudly join His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, and the entire nation in celebrating the 46th independence of Zimbabwe. In a free and peaceful Zimbabwe, tourism continues to flourish as a key pillar of national development, showcasing the country's rich cultural heritage, pristine natural wonders, and warm hospitality. This remarkable growth has earned the nation global acclaim, including being named the world's #1 must-visit destination in 2025 by Forbes magazine and Destination of the Year for Natural Wonders by the Pacific Area Travel Writers Association, reaffirming Zimbabwe's position as a leading tourist destination. All roads lead to Mapisa this year for this momentous occasion, where tourists are invited to experience the very essence of Zimbabwe's heritage and beauty. Explore the rich cultural tapestry at Isizinda Cultural Center, marvel at the iconic Matobo Hills, and discover the breathtaking landscape and wildlife of Matobo National Park. From visiting Joshua Ngomo's rural homestead to indulging in Zimbabwe's cuisine, crafts, music, and dance, this independence celebration is a true reflection of our heritage. Nakayedu ilifa letu. As festivities unfold at Mapisa Stadium, Zimbabwe proudly invites the world to celebrate its journey of freedom, unity, and progress, and to experience a destination that remains no choice but to call it beautiful. Happy 46th Independence Anniversary. Experience Zimbabwe. Nakayedu ilifa letu. Our heritage. This is us. Zimbo.
It's time for sport, and welcome to the Sports Corner. Anasham Roberts here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, ambitious Casalaga Premier Soccer League outfit Chicken Inn will be out to continue with their dominance over city rivals Highlanders when the two sides clash in a blockbuster midweek encounter at Barberville Stadium on Wednesday.
It is derby time here in Bulawayo as Chicken Inn the Gamecocks host Highlanders in a league match that is set for midweek on Wednesday. Chicken Inn head coach Tondera Indira, who is heading into the Bulawayo derby for the first time as Chicken Inn head coach, is preferring a cautious approach. He's not reading much on what has been happening from the Highlanders camp, seeing that coach Benjani Warwari is doing a sterling job given that Highlanders are still unbeaten.
We are going into the game with so much respect for that institution. But this is football. We are also going into the match with a lot of confidence, especially after posting 2 successive wins in our past 2 matches. So we are very excited. But we are expecting a very tough afternoon, a very tough game from Highlanders. They've been doing very, very well in the matches that they've played. The matches that I've watched, they've really been doing quite well.
Whether these are mind games or not, only time will tell on Wednesday. Mtogozi Dube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Defending champions Scotland have shifted focus to the Premier Soccer League after winning the Independence Cup. The league champions faced Dynamos in a rescheduled blockbuster matchday 8 encounter at Rufaro Stadium this Wednesday.
Fresh from lifting the Uhuru Cup, a second trophy in just 2 months, Scotland are back to defend the Castle Premier Soccer League as they get to face Giants Dynamos at Rufaro Stadium on Wednesday. These two teams clashed in the season-opening Castle Challenge Cup, and the defending champions Scotland managed to wallop Dynamos 5-0. However, Scotland head coach Nomino Peza has challenged his guys to step up as it's a different ball game.
It's not going to be a similar game. Look, I'm sure they've done their homework. Like I said, if you look at the way they started this season, they've started it very well. It's a big game, it's like a derby, but Dynamos was the main Dynamos. They've got a huge fan base, and look, they've always been pushed by that cough men. But look, like I said, it's all about the mind when you're playing such big games.
While Scotland view this as a different ball game altogether, the Dimbare half is determined to show that they've improved from where they started with that 5-0 drubbing in the Castle Challenge Cup. Dynamos have started the season very well and are still yet to test a defeat ahead of the encounter against the defending champions, Scotland.
Our application wasn't perfect, but now we have rectified our grey areas, and now that we have a system, and also the structure is now in the fingertips, and we are trying to do our best to make sure that this time around we are not porous.
The battle lines have been drawn. Scotland, Maviravira, gets to host Dynamos Dimbare at Rufaro Stadium. At the same time, it will be a Bulawayo derby at Baba Fields Stadium as Highlanders gets to take on Chicken Inn, while Bulawayo Chiefs travel to Nyamunga Stadium for a date against ZBC Kariba. Lawrence Rusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Harare Kings have been crowned the Harare Basketball Association Men's Super 6 champions for the 2025 to 2026 season after sealing the title with a game to spare. The Kings wrapped up the championship at the weekend with a 78-70 victory over JBC, a side that has spent much of the campaign at the top of the standings. Their closest challengers, Zimbabwe-Botswana, also fell short after suffering a narrow 84-82 defeat to UZ Stars, a result that ended their title hopes. The winner takes the Kings to 39 points from 24 matches, putting them beyond the reach of both JBC and Zimbabwe-Botswana, who can no longer catch them even if they win their remaining fixtures. That's it from the Sports Corner. Let's take a look at the weather.
Hello, welcome. Let's take a look at the weather. Those in the western regions have had quite active weather conditions consisting of thunderstorms and rain. And as of yesterday, Nyanga recorded 20 millimeters of rain followed by 13 in Gwanda. And this was due to the field of moisture that came into the country from the western borders. And looking at today's weather, we had cloudy conditions prevailing in Matabele in north and south, including Harare Metropolitan, with some scattered thunderstorms here and there, while the rest of the country enjoyed partly cloudy and warm conditions. Now on Tuesday, we are expecting these same weather conditions over the western regions, covering as well the southern and southern parts of Manicaland province, with chances of thunderstorms in parts. And now looking at Wednesday, we're expecting cool, moist winds from the southeast coast, which may result in cloudy conditions, starting from the southern parts of the country, extending into the northern regions of Zimbabwe, with some chances of rain and drizzle in places. Now moving on, we're expecting tonight to have mild conditions throughout the country, with scattered thunderstorms mainly over Matabele and south, with cloudy conditions extending into Masvingo as well, southern parts of Manicaland. Tomorrow, generally warm across the country, as we're still having that cloud system over Zimbabwe. Cloud conditions are expected over half of the western parts of Zimbabwe, while the northeastern should experience some sunny conditions here and there. Generally mild in the morning, becoming warm as the day progresses for Bulawayo. Temperatures dropping due to the cool winds on Wednesday onwards. Moving on, Matopos, generally mild at first, becoming warm as the day progresses. Windy conditions are expected on Thursday, with some generally warm conditions during the afternoon. For Gwanda as well, cloudy throughout the forecast period, though mild at first, with warm afternoon conditions. Temperatures slightly dropping for Gweru on Wednesday onwards, while it should be generally warm for the rest of the days. Partly cloudy conditions are here and there. Masvingo as well. Mild conditions in the morning becoming warm as the day progresses. Mutare, mostly sunny conditions for Tuesday and Wednesday, getting cloudy for Thursday onwards. Nyanga, temperatures dropping from Thursday onwards with some partly cloudy conditions here and there. Marondera, sunny conditions expected for Tuesday and Wednesday, getting cloudy from Thursday onwards. Cool at first, becoming warm by the afternoon for Harare, becoming cloudy as we're expecting cloud conditions on Thursday onwards. Kadoma as well, isolated thunderstorms showers expected for Tuesday, becoming cloudy and cool for Thursday onwards. Chinoi as well, generally warm throughout the forecast period. For Victoria Falls, scattered thunderstorms are expected for Tuesday. Mild at first, becoming warm by the afternoon. Lupane, sunny conditions for Thursday, getting cloudy as we get into Thursday. Bindura as well, sunny conditions Tuesday and Wednesday, becoming cloudy from Thursday onwards. Kariba area there, temperature slightly dropping for Thursday and Friday due to the cool southeasterly winds. That's all weather news. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.
All the weather report puts a cap on the main news. From the news desk and the entire ZBC crew, good evening.
Good night.